Hello friends, my name is Sejal. I am going to discuss about the topic computer security concepts. I have taken the reference from the book Computer Security Principles and Practices. The edition of the book is third edition. Author of the book William Stallings. First of all, what is the importance of this topic? Why computer security is required? It is required because it keeps your information protected. So your data and information is important to protect at every stage. It is important because for your computer's overall health, proper computer security helps prevent viruses and malware, which allows programs to run quicker and smoother. So with all these aspects, computer security is important. In this video, I will discuss about the topics definition and objectives of computer security, challenges of computer security, computer security terminology, security concepts and its relationship, general categories of vulnerabilities of computer, types of attacks, threats and assets, attack surfaces, and security implementation. Now we'll discuss about the definition of computer security. The protection afforded to an automated information system in order to attain the applicable objectives of preserving the integrity, availability, and confidentiality of information system resources. It is known as computer security. So here I have mentioned three main keywords, or we can say it is objective, availability, confidentiality, and integrity. So we need to preserve these three terms that makes computer security. Now security for what? Security includes the terms security is for hardware, software, firmware, information or data, and telecommunications. Here your network resources, network devices will also come. Now we will discuss about those three main objectives which are the heart of computer security. First, confidentiality. This term covers two related concepts, data confidentiality and privacy. So the word itself suggests confidentiality means the data should be confidential. It should not be disclosed within unauthorized or inaccessible users. So that is the confidentiality term. Data confidentiality assures that private or confidential information is not made available or disclosed to unauthorized individuals. Privacy means it assures that individuals control or influence what information related to them may be collected or stored and by whom and to whom that information may be disclosed. Means wherever we are talking about any file access, for example, so which kind of files are accessible to which users, that you have to give access. So that is the privacy related to files. So any kind of resource related to computer may have privacy. So that is the term privacy. Integrity. This term covers two related concepts, data integrity and system integrity. So first, data integrity. It assures that information and programs are changed only in specified and authorized manner. Means the user who are not having the access of particular data, say file, database or any other resource, they may not be access that resource. If they are accessing them in unauthorized manner, they may change it. And integrity means the other users are accessing those data at the same time, so they may get wrong results. So that is the data integrity should be maintained here. System integrity. It ensures that a system performs its intended function in an unimpaired manner, free from deliberate or inadvertent unauthorized manipulation of the system. Wherever we are talking about data, that is the authorized manner usage of data. Here we are talking about the system. So it should have authorized access to a user who is accessing the system. That is system integrity. Availability. It ensures that systems work promptly and service is not denied to authorized user. Means system, your resources should be available to authorized user at requested time. If it is compromised, they may not be available to them. So in such a case, security aspect, availability is compromised. So that is the topic, availability. Now, computer security terminology. Wherever we are talking about any system, there are some terminology, there are some entities who are working behind it. So here I have listed down some of the terminology for computer security. First, adversary, or we can say threat agent. So what is it? It is an entity that attacks. Who is performing attack to your system? That is a threat to a system. So we can say that is an adversary to attack. So any kind of mischievous operation performing on your system, that is the attack. Because of that, your system vulnerability may be compromised. So what is an attack? It is an assault on system security that derives from an intelligent threat. That is an intelligent act. That is a deliberate attempt, especially in sense of a method or technique to evade security services and violate the security policy of system. So we can say any action which violates security policy or which will harm to your system security, that is attack. Countermeasure. So how we prevent from that? That is countermeasure. From attack, that is countermeasure. So it is an action, device, procedure or technique that reduces a threat, a vulnerability or an attack by eliminating or preventing it, by minimizing the harm it can cause, or by discovering and reporting it so that corrective action can be taken. So they are the corrective actions, countermeasures are, which can prevent your system from attack. Risk. An expectation of loss expressed as the probability that a particular threat will exploit a particular vulnerability with a particular harmful result. Means whatever attack is performed to your system, it will damage your system, it will just cause loss of data, it can cause any harmful thing to your system. So which kind of loss you may have, so that is the risk. Okay. Security policy. So wherever the risk arise, some kind of policies should be designed or should be mentioned for security. So what are it? A set of rules and practices that specify or regulate how a system or organization provides security services to protect sensitive and critical system resources. Means wherever we are having a system, say in organization, so there should be some policies defined. So all the employees, all the users should follow those rules to maintain system security. So that is called system security policy. System resource, that is asset here in the terms of resource. Data contained in an information system or a service provided by a system. It is asset or a system capability such as processing power. It can be also asset or communication bandwidth or an item of system equipment. So any kind of system component can be also an asset, like it can be hardware, firmware, software, or any document itself. It can be any database record also, it can be any file also, it can be your network resource also. So that is the meaning of system resource. Threat, a potential for violation of security which exists when there is a circumstance, capability, action, or event that could breach security and cause harm. Means any unwanted situation, unwanted thing happening with your system, using which the system may have compromised vulnerability. So that event is a threat. That is a threat, is a possible danger that might exploit your system's vulnerability. Now I'm talking the term vulnerability. So what does it mean actually? It is the term itself, weakness of a system. So here is the definition: a flaw or weakness in a system's design, implementation, or operation and management that could be exploited to violate the system's security policy. Wherever we have designed all kind of system policies, but if somehow, somewhere, some point is lacking from our side, so that point the attacker can use. In this way, at that point, the system vulnerability is compromised. So that may happen, and that is the term vulnerability. Now, security concepts and relationship. For that, I have the figure here. Here we can see these are the entities. They are related with each other. So how they relate with each other, that I want to discuss. Your system is having, here we are talking about the system with security. That is the topic, security concepts relationship. So here we are having the terms owners, countermeasures, risk, assets. We have already discussed these points. Threat agents, threats. Only one owner is the new term for that. So owner is the person, is the resource who owns particular thing. It can be also resource, it can be a file, it can be other resource, network resource, it can be hardware, software, anything. So who owns it? That is an owner of your system. So owner is related with countermeasures and assets. Owner always values its assets. It always imposes countermeasures. It should be, it has to be. And owner always wishes to minimize risk. the security level of owner's system will be such like the minimization of risk is there. So that is the owner's side. Now countermeasures owners imposes. Countermeasures also reduces the risk. Risk for what? Risk for assets. So risk and asset both are also related. Now threat agents who are performing threats, right? So threat agents also wish to abuse or damage or getting lost of asset. Threat always wishes that, right? So that is the relationship between threat and asset. Because of threats, always the risk of system, risk to damage, risk to data loss, risk to privacy damage, risk to confidentiality compromisation can arise. So that is the relationship between threat and risk. Here I have mentioned the assets of computer system and its categories. So they are here categorized in 4 categories: hardware, software, data, communication facilities, and networks. So as we all know, hardware, here we are all only talking about uh, about these all points for security point of view. Hardware, it includes computer systems and other data processing, data storage, data communication devices. Software, it includes the operating system, system utilities, and applications. Data, it includes files, databases, security related data such as passwords or password files. Communication facilities and networks, it can be local and wide area network, its communication links, bridges, routers, etc. So these are the categories of assets. Now, the next point is general categories of vulnerabilities of a computer. Which kind of vulnerabilities a computer can have? So there are 3 categories: corrupted, leaky, unavailable. So what are they? First, corrupted. It can be vulnerabilities categories we are talking about. So first category is corrupted. It can be corrupted so that it does the wrong thing or gives wrong answers, right? So whatever query or whatever you are asking for, your system provides you wrong answer. For example, stored data values may differ from what they should be because they have been improperly modified. So that your system vulnerability is corrupted over here. You are asking for something and you are getting something. So that is the meaning of vulnerability is corrupted. Second, leaky vulnerability. So wherever you are, for example, someone who should not have access to some or all of the information available through the network obtains such access. So you know that this person is not having access, but that person, the middle person will leak some kind of information, and due to that leaky information, the unauthorized user may have access of particular routines or resource. So in that case, your vulnerability is in the stage of leaky vulnerability. Next one, unavailable. Vulnerability will be unavailable or very slow. Means wherever you ask for something, some resource, say for example, for network connectivity or any kind of access of shared files or computers, So in that case, if that access is not given to you at that particular time, although you are the authorized user, so in that case is called unavailable systems vulnerability. That thing is not possible, not available to you practically, so it is unavailable vulnerability. The next topic is types of attacks. So here I have mentioned types of attacks. First, I would like to discuss about threat agent again. So the agent carrying out the attack is referred to as an attacker or threat agent. So that is the term attacker here. Now we have the types: active attack, passive attack. They are the basic types. What is the meaning of active attack? An attempt to alter system resources or affect their operation. So when attacker is trying to alter your system resources, it directly impacts the resource or its operation. That is active attack. Passive attack: an attempt to learn or make use of information from the system that does not affect system resources. Means directly the attacker will not impact on your resource, but attacker may have access of some of the information which is important. So that is known as passive attack. So these are the basic types. Now, next categories I have classified here, that is based on origin of attack. Means from where the attack happens. So that is the inside attack and outside attack. So what is the meaning of inside attack? It is initiated by an entity inside the security perimeter, which is an insider. We can say the insider is authorized to access system resources, but uses them in a way not approved by those who granted the authorization. Means the person who is working inside the premises or inside the organization is having all kind of authorization, but he is or she is misusing of it. So that is called inside attack. Outside attack: it is initiated from outside the perimeter by an unauthorized or illegitimate user of the system, which is an outsider who is not the part of your organization or your security system. For example, on the internet, potential outside attackers range from amateur pranksters to organized criminals, international terrorists, and hostile governments. So these persons can be categorized or classified as outside attackers. They are not part of our premises or perimeter. They are from outside world. So these are the types of attacks we have discussed. Now, here is the relationship or the three main objectives: availability, confidentiality, and integrity. They are discussed with the type of asset, that is hardware, software, data, or communication lines or networks. So here is the examples given. When the availability of hardware is compromised, what happens, or how this availability is compromised. So here is a table. I'm going to discuss this table. So first, hardware. It is an asset. Availability of the hardware means what? The equipment is stolen or disabled, thus denying service. Means here, whenever you are having any kind of hardware device like your laptop, if it is stolen, so in that case, it is not available. So in that case, the hardware availability is compromised. Confidentiality of your hardware device. An unencrypted CD-ROM or DVD is stolen. So confidentiality, it means your data within CD-ROM or DVD, it is already stolen. So it will be not confidential now. It will be open to the person who has stolen it. So that is the confidentiality here compromised. Software. So in terms of software availability, may your programs are deleted or denying access to the user who is actually accessible users. So it is called the software unavailability, or availability is compromised over here. So that is the topic. Confidentiality for the software. An unauthorized copy of software is made. So say anybody is taking copy of confidential data from your computer or from your system or network. So that is the confidentiality is compromised over here. Integrity in terms of software. A working program is modified either to cause it to fail during execution or to cause it to do some unintended task. So the user who is not having the access of particular that data or database or file, although he is accessing and he is modifying, so in such a case, the software integrity is compromised. Availability for the asset data. Your files are deleted or it is generating denying access to the accessible or authorized users. So it means data availability is compromised over here. Confidentiality. An unauthorized read of data is performed. An analysis of statistical data reveals underlying data. So it is confidentiality factor here. Data is more crucial for many kind of organizations, and if they are compromised in terms of confidentiality, the opposite party may take benefit of them. So it should be confidential. Confidentiality of data should not be compromised. Integrity for the asset data. Existing files are modified or new files are fabricated. So wherever the authorized user is trying to access the file or data, he or she may get the file, but it is with the wrong representation or with the modified representation. So that is your integrity is compromised for the asset data. Next, communication lines and networks. Availability, in terms of availability, this asset, how it impacts. Messages are destroyed or deleted. Communication lines or networks are rendered unavailable. Wherever you want to access the network and at that particular time, that is unavailable to you. Although you are going to just to send such an important email and see what happens, the network has been compromised and you are not having network access at such a time period. So it is very important that availability of communication network should be maintained properly for the authorized users. Confidentiality for the asset networks and communication lines. Messages are read the traffic pattern of message is observed. So that we can, here I would like to add the EVA stopping kind of thing. Attack can happen over here. So your messages can be read from the line or within the media. It can be read by somewhere, so that your confidentiality is compromised because of the network. Because of the network. Integrity. Messages are modified, delayed, recorded, or duplicated. False messages are fabricated. So integrity means the change in data or messages or anything, the change or modification is happening with your resource. So that would impact your asset. Your integrity of asset is compromised here. So these are the important topics I would like to discuss about threats and assets. Rest of the topics I will discuss in my next video. Thank you, friends.